All right, here we go. So today I'd figure I work on my Xenomorph sculpt a little bit. If you watched the last video, or the last stream rather, I've made a lot of progress since then. So the whole thing has been retopologized. So if I just do a render here, you see that everything is retopologized. So I have like pretty decent topology on everything. I got UVs. So yeah, at this point, I think I'm just going to go in and start really dialing in the the high resolution details and everything. And you can see that I have my PureRef open. This is all the stuff I got going on that I'm looking at while I'm making this. And there's some areas that I'm not like super happy with, like like the neck area. I wish it were a little bit more anatomical. But the thing is that it's kind of locked in. You know what I mean? Like I got the geometry more or less locked in. So I kind of have to work with what I got. So I'll just do that. And I guess the goal of this stream was to at least just kind of finish the body, right? Yesterday I was working my way down, getting a lot of these, kind of nice textures or, nice kind of sculpting details in here. So I'm going to start in a little grundle patch down here, work my way down the legs. Yeah. And we check out the subtool a little bit, or rather the everything. It's about, 18 pieces. And I have, let's see, I have this piece underneath the head cover. All right, so that's going to be, the way that's going to work is once everything is nice and textured, this is going to be a little bit transparent, so you'll be able to see underneath. Because when you look at these other Xenomorph models, they have that nice kind of transparency here, and so you have to have a lot of detail underneath. All right, so I'm just going to work my way down the legs, really. And I'm going to find one of these. I really like this one. Whoever made this one is straight boss. That one is ridiculous. But let's see. Maybe this one. Right. Let me think. All right. Yeah, I think I'm just going to kind of follow what I got here. And just kind of have some fun. Because that's the nice thing about doing these. Let's see, which subtool am I on? Okay, here we go. That's a nice thing about working on a Xenomorph is like you can't really go wrong, It's sort of like this kind of nice like template that you can use, and then you can kind of just, do whatever the hell you want, really. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Let's see. So a lot of these areas aren't going to be seen, but, yeah, I definitely do want a good amount of detail going up in here. Wow, look at that. That's going to be an issue, huh? Yeah, I really, that's interesting. Yeah, I just did for the body. I just did like I didn't mesh it by hand. I guess I didn't really check too much on how things were going. When I did it. So I kind of want to, I want to include some of these sort of like tubings, right? Like this kind of ribbed, tubed things here and there. And instead of creating extra geometry, I'm just going to sculpt those details in. Here, let me fix something over here on my other screen. There we go. I'm working on my Cintiq right now, so. All right, so maybe I can get these tubulars back here. Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. You can just kind of have fun. Okay, so this is like a lot of these detailers are going to be set up in a normal map and a displacement map, right? So a lot of them are just going to show up through texture. And the base model is like is pretty heavy. It's about you know, it's about 200,000 polygons, I think. And that's just the base. Let me see. Let me get some. I'm going to get this in here too. And kind of getting a little bit of faceting. I don't really want to go up one more detail, because if I do, let me see. I think that'll be all right. That's kind of cool. It's starting to look a little busy, but I think that's okay. I'm just going to keep it nice and busy. Why not? Yeah, no, I'm not so sure about that. Let's go back. There we go. Okay. Let's see. I want to work on the legs here. Let me find something. Yeah, this one is just a little bit more like anatomically correct, right? I'm going to hide the arms. I wish, oh, how I wish there were a hotkey in Zbrush so that you can hide things. The fact that Zbrush is just so many problems. Okay. All right, let's move down here. Okay, so let's start down here, and then I'll work my way back up. Okay, so I'm carving things out with the damn standard. All right, so I'm carving out these shapes. And then what I'm doing is I'm pressing Alt to just kind of get that kind of hard edge here. Right, and again, you know, this doesn't, one of the nice things working on a xenomorph like this is the hard edge doesn't need to be super perfect, right? Because you kind of want it to be kind of off, slightly organic. Right? You know, something kind of like that. Yeah, that's the fun part about working on a xenomorph. So I kind of like this area, right? Because there's a lot of busyness going on up top. So I want breaks in the details. And I want it to be super detailed the whole way around. Otherwise, you're not really going to know what you're looking at. Yeah, this is fun. That's why I'm doing it, Squid Bean. Hey there, by the way. Okay, that's looking pretty cool. Okay, let's just get a little bit of something. All right, let's see. All right, so the knee area, I think I might want this to just go straight down. That could look pretty nice. So let's get it to go down like that. Yeah, I kind of like that because it sort of makes, it kind of draws the eye down. Because if there were, I could probably get something like in here, right? Just to kind of make a break. Yeah, Squid Beam, totally. You're welcome for the Apex videos. Um, yeah, I mean, it definitely like there. I think just a couple of the auto rig components are missing some stuff. Um, but I mean, it's like you can almost get to like a pretty solid rig at this point. You know, it's not really missing too much. You know, we're almost there. Yeah, how was SIGGRAPH? That must have been fun. Were you presenting or were you just there? All right. Okay, so at some point I want to get, yeah, H21. Houdini 21 is going to be awesome. I cannot wait. Nice. Well, congrats on that. That must have been cool. What were you presenting exactly? All right, let's see. Okay, cool. Now I wonder if what if I did something like that? That's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that. Just add a bit of a break. It's kind of starting to look like a Mass Effect type armor. And I wonder if I got, what would that look like? That looks pretty good. I think I can do that. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Just gonna clean that up. I just wanted to throw that in to see if it would work. But yeah, let's kind of sharpen that up a bit. I'm gonna grab, let's see. Let's see, made personal projects, crowd studies from the last while, or wrapped up in presentation. Yeah, personal projects, man. Totally. I've been having trouble finding time for my personal projects. Because along with this, I do a lot of music, and you know, I've been like, man, it's just hard to kind of structure. I've been finding it super difficult to structure my time. To, you know, I mean, like, what do you do? Like, what's your method? Like, do you have like set blocks for like this project, or do you work on one project at a time? Like, I'm working on like, I don't even know how many projects I'm working on right now. It's ridiculous. I got this one. I have like, you know, 3 others. I got music projects, and I got 2 kids. So it's getting a little busy. All right, let's see. What's that gonna look like? Let's see. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I think I might just move on. Keep on working my way down. Yeah, personal projects are crazy important. Breaks the monotony of non-personal projects. See, still been reading this since my daughter was born. Yeah, kids, they shake things up. But simply put, I try to make sure I can get something going or working or, yep. Yeah, kids do shake things up, that's for sure. They're totally awesome, though. Oh, yeah, 2 days. I like that. I like that a lot. Just nice, quick little projects. Yeah, see, I think that's my problem. Is like, I'll come up with like this giant idea of like, you know, some huge animation with multiple characters, and have to come up with like all these different techniques, you know, groundbreaking techniques to, you know, get it to work. Yeah, man, that's my problem. you know, just little projects. I mean, like this Xenomorph, for instance. I've been working on this for, I mean, I don't even know how long I've been working on this. Like, it's been kind of on and off, you know, but like still, you know, it would just be nice to just to be done with it. But like, I wanted like, this is part of like a, again, you know, this is part of a larger project. So I want this to be like really, really solid, really high resolution, kind of like a production ready model. You might have to run into some of the LinkedIn or Discord, but yeah, part of my talk was like, people go way too big. Yeah, man. Yeah, dude, seriously. That's a good, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. Is your talk going to be posted? Like, is it going to be posted on YouTube or something like that? Or nobody on Earth is on a stick. Yeah, man. I mean, like, I remember seeing your Xenomorph does have acid for blood. They do. Just like in Romulus. Anybody see that? Yeah, Side Effects does kind of release this stuff like in a couple weeks, that kind of thing. Well, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. I mean, you deserve it, for real. Because I remember the with the Houdini Martini thing. What was it? I forgot the like exact name, but I remember you were like pulling out like crazy renders and like every day. I was wondering like, how the hell are you doing that? Yeah, Mardini, that's what it was. Thank you. Yeah, I like that. Look at that. That looks cool. Yeah, man, for real. That sure was something else. Yeah, I know. Yeah, man. You got to remember. Yeah, you got. Yeah, when you got a significant other, you can't just disappear. Especially with kids now, man. It's like, you know, forget about it. I did the what was it, when I did the you know, Clint's challenges. You know, Clint on YouTube, he does these challenges, and you know, the Punisher. And I did the Endless Engines challenge, and man, you know, like by the end of it, like I never worked so hard on anything. You know, it was so ridiculous. And by the end, like I was up, I think like my final stretch, I was working on it for like 24 hours straight. Like it was so ridiculous. And you know, fortunately, my wife was like, yeah, you can work on it. But like, yeah, it was one of those things. Like, all right, take it easy. Yeah, up at 4 a.m., bang out. Damn. Come up with the next idea. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you had to come up with the next idea and then execute it. That is intense. That's what I'm saying, man. You know, you deserve some recognition for that. Like, it's insane. You know, it's like it's like if like a Navy SEAL were a VFX artist. You know. On like military hours. Boom, I like that. Check that out. And you like 212, you get the sense off. Yeah, I can do this. I know, dude. I know, man. You know, getting to those last days, you know. I mean, that's how it is. Like, that's the thing. Like, that's how it is with projects. You know, like with professional projects. You know, so when you do that for like a personal project, it's kind of like this weird self-inflicted, you know, pain. You know, it's like we're all masochists in a way to work on these insane projects at like such a clip like that. Yeah, man, 100%. Oh, what's going on here? Got some weirdness. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I mean, like this guy, you know, he's part of a larger project. I mean, like, I guess my idea for my projects is to have like stepping stones, you know, like phases. You know, phase 1 is you know, the model, right? And then phase 2 is the rig, because like eventually I want to rig and animate this guy. So if you kind of have these phases, then, you know, and then you can have these kind of stepping stones. You know, you could do larger projects, but, you know, still have something to show for it like every week or so. It also comes back to personal projects. So many people starting a project with us because they don't have the stamina. Right. Yeah, I do that a lot. But still want the excitement of a new idea. It doesn't work like that. It's not a good cycle to end up in. Yeah, man. Very wise words. Wise words indeed. Yeah, that sense of, I mean, that's another thing is like, how do you, you know, like if, I mean, it like, it's super important to like be able to have that sense of excitement, kind of like you mentioned. And, you know, that sense of excitement, especially I think like, you know, as a visual effects artist, for me at least, comes from like the R&D stage, right? And then once you've figured out all the techniques of how you're going to go about doing the project, and then it's just completing it, that's when things start getting really sour. And, you know, then it's just like drudgery. So if you're working on personal projects, it's like, you know, why subject yourself to that kind of thing, you know, that type of workflow when you're doing something for yourself. Things is mental health and aspect. Yeah, I did this. Look at what I did for completing something. Yeah, it's so important to finish stuff. Yeah, man. Sure is. And yes, Vishnu. I've been pretty busy with with professional projects. Kind of hit a bit of a lull. So I'm going to, my plan is to make a couple more tutorials coming up soon. A couple things, like I wanted to do one on what's it called? Hang on, let me actually go up a level here. And all right, where's my chisel brush? Chisel. All right, ready? I'm gonna get a nice little detail in here. Ooh, that's super strong. Back that off a bit. The why. It's the same about going to the gym or run or anything else. It's not easy to do it and just talk about it, right? I know. And also, like, just coming up with ideas in general. Like, it's so easy to just come up with ideas and then not execute on them. You know, or not find the time, or. But also, I think when you have kids, you got to be really careful about, you know, like how it's interesting. You got to be careful about how you see your kids and in your life, because sometimes you can kind of forget how important they actually are. Because, you know, you get kind of like, oh, woe was me. Like, if only I had more time, you know, this and that. So like, you got to like figure out your priorities as well. Let's see. The why, it's the same about going to the gym. Could I request a short, quick walkthrough video of how to set up creature 4 legs for IK? Just a basic rig for animation. Time flies so fast. Yeah, it sure does. Yeah, I can definitely do that. I need an asset to work with. There's assets out there. It's actually like the thing about Apex is like it's you know, once you kind of start like getting it, it's actually super easy. I think the biggest issue with Apex is like just how flexible it is, you know, because you literally do anything. So like all the matrix manipulation and all that kind of stuff is kind of up to you, right? Like you actually have to do the majority of any kind of like matrix math, right? So you kind of have to figure that stuff out, because a lot of the tools aren't set up for you yet, right? But you know, it really does help, like in like a rigging perspective, to know how to do that stuff. You know, because once you get like some really like the basics of matrix math, then you can kind of, you know, you could sort of do anything. You know, like there's no issues that you run into that'll be too much for you to handle. Yeah, 2 knees for this creature. I know. Billy or Billil. Sorry, pronounce that bad. I'm worried about the hips. I don't know how I'm gonna do the hips. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Like a Kinefx Plus, please. Yeah. I mean, it's actually really quick. Like, you know, most of my rigs, right? The ones that I do for production or anything like that, I usually have them up and running in like a day. So it really doesn't take too long. You know, once you just kind of lay out the process, and you know, because the thing is like you still it is still like a Kinefx. It's definitely still a Kinefx based workflow, like at least setting up the you know, setting up your joints and everything like that, using rig vops to, you know, create twist joints, and it's just, and then Apex is the solvers, right? Like, so like you're using Kinefx to set up all the and all the SOP goodness that, you know, Houdini offers. You use that to set up your joints so that you can keep that completely procedural, and then which is, you know, incredible. So it still falls in that like Houdini type workflow. You know, so if you change anything, even if you change the geometry, just as long as the naming is correct and your skinning remains procedural, you're good. You know, you're good to go. So let me get that chisel brush again. Let's see what I can do here. Let me see. Maybe I can do something like that, or maybe like a. Is that cool? Let me think. I'm gonna get rid of that for now. I want something back here, but I'm not sure. Schwat. But yeah, the truth is, you know, it is pretty quick to set up. Let me see. Yeah, something like that. I think I might space these out a bit more. In production, you do the skinning or the rigging, or you pass it to whom it may concern. Typically, the rigging artist handles the skinning. So the rigging artist kind of does everything, or the technical artist. So that would be setting up the joints, doing the skinning, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, like, you know, if you're making like Will Smith for Gemini Man, maybe it's a little different because like there's so much work that goes into that. But just like, you know, your proper character, you know, cartoon character, whatever, Like, you know, if you're working like for like some like Nickelodeon or Paw Patrol or something like that, then yeah, you'll be doing the skinning and the rigging. On paper, it makes a ton of sense, but I think the hassle right now is that you hit tab and literally 200 Apex knows a new language, new ways it wants things connected. It's just somewhere new things to learn again. I know. Yeah, it really is. Like, there's so much to learn, and again, that's a huge problem because it's like a whole other, what's the word? Kind of paradigm, right? It's a whole other paradigm that you have to kind of figure out and sort of understand how it works, like the packing the folders and all that jazz. But then again, you know, it's like once you get it going, you're going. And you know, I mean, it took basically it took me like to the point that I'm at now, or definitely not the point that I'm at now. Like in the beginning, like when I was learning it, it took me like months to get to a point where I felt confident enough to make my own tools and make my own rigs. And let me see, maybe something like this. That's kind of nice. I think I'll leave that. So it's just context between an Apex. I know, yeah, the USD workflow, like Solaris, man, like I'm still trying to figure that out. And I'm still trying to the whole Solaris thing. I'm still trying to figure out like the real benefit of it, you know. You know, like in cops, like I haven't even touched cops yet. You know, like I just haven't even tried. But yeah, Solaris, like sometimes I can see the point of it, right? Like, but just to get like a quick render of something, you know, I always kind of find it's kind of a big pain in the butt just to, you know, sometimes I'll like just throw a model into Blender if I want to get just a really quick render out of something and, you know, have everything just be updated really quickly. You know, sometimes the Solaris could just be kind of overkill for just like little small renders. Apex is an absolutely lifesaver for future similar rigs, but good golly, yeah, it does take long to set up for complex rigs. Plus, its performance. Oh yeah, its performances. I mean, compared to KineFX, there's no contest really. You know, it's KineFX. Like there was a project I was working on a while back, where I had to make this like big aquarium for a museum, and it was like a you know, like a virtual aquarium, right? It was really cool. And I decided to do it in Houdini because it's fish, right? And I figure, okay, fish, you know, you just set up a KineFX rig and have like a bunch of procedural motion. But then I tried to like animate it, you know, by hand in KineFX, and it was just not possible. Like it was so slow. For just like a simple rig. Like I remember trying to open the mouth and it was like, you know, moving, you know, like 2 frames per second. Like it was really rough. So, you know, it's kind of insane how things move, how fast things move when you have like a nice Apex rig. It's almost disconcerting how fast it is sometimes. Like I'm not used to it. You know, I'm used to like a little bit of chunkiness when I move my rigs around and doing some animating. So yeah, like with Apex, like as fast as it moves is wild. It's a really, really awesome system. It just needs to mature a little bit. And once it does, it'll be amazing. I mean, it already is amazing. You know, it's like, let's not beat around the bush here, people. It already is pretty incredible. But, you know, sometimes I like to sculpt, and I like to share my process too. So you guys are watching me sculpt this instead of doing Apex tutorials. So Solaris is a VFX pipeline tool. At the end of the day, it's relatively quick in the sense you want a department of servicing. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, you know, as an assembly tool, it's awesome. Um, but then again, it's just, you know, it's just one of these other like paradigms you gotta learn about. Um, so yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's really. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's awesome, you know, but yeah, it's like, you know, learning Apex, cops, and you know, just they all speak together in a certain way, but they also kind of all share their own language. Um, but yeah, you know, it like all of them together are so powerful, and not even to mention like the landscape tools. You know, yeah, Houdini is pretty awesome. So many different what's the word? Disciplines rolled up into one, and now you got sculpting in it. So man, it's just like got just about everything you can ask for. Let's see. As a solo MoGraph artist, used to 6 hours turnarounds. Yeah, I know, right? We need this in 6 hours. Yeah, no, thank you. Bright future, smart people. Oh yeah, the modules. I mean, yeah, like, you know, Squidbean, I'm telling you, man, like I never released it because I never actually like, even told anybody about it. But I was working on, and I mean, just to show like what is capable, like I had a system in Apex that was all SOPs kind of node based, right? Like where I had all these different modules, right? Just in so like I had like a control module, I had a spine module, arm module, and you just throw down and you just chain the rigs or chain the nodes. I mean, just a single node, and then the output at the end was an entire Apex rig with the parenting and everything. And I built that like Houdini 20, right? But I never went forward with it because you know, Apex is still in beta. So the next time I updated my you know, I downloaded the newer version, it just completely broke everything. So I backed off of it. But just to kind of like just to sort of like, you know, like as I don't know, just kind of like as a like an example of like what you can actually do with it. You know, you can build whole pipeline just within Apex. I mean, because the coolest thing is like once you build a tool or once you build a rig, you by default have that rig. Like you by default have like a reusable rig, right? Like which is kind of crazy. So like, you know, if you build a quadruped rig, you have a reusable quadruped rig. Like you have like a quadruped template, right? And that you can use on any animal that has 4 legs. And I mean, in order to do that, Maya or Blender or whatever, it's just like so much Python coding and, you know, so it's just really awesome. And yeah, once they kind of create some more modules and stuff like that, you stop to think about it, it's also cracked that we get cracked. It's also cracked. Where are you from? You must be from Britain or something. That we get a new, I know, yeah, every 8 months. Like keeping up was never the goal. Yeah, good grief. Yeah, the whole like the fact that Apex isn't even just for rigging. Like they said that like the new cops is built on Apex, which I guess I kind of understand. You know, like I didn't go too far like into how Apex actually works. You know, like into like the you know, because I'm not like a developer or anything like that. Like I'm definitely artist first, you know, technical stuff later. I love the technical stuff, but so I didn't go too deep into how all like how it actually works underneath the hood. But yeah, the fact that Cops is built on Apex also means that like that all of these different environments can speak together now, right? So like if you have textures in Cops, you could potentially have that or have access to those Cop textures or whatever you're doing in Cops in your Apex rig, right? I don't think that connection is available just yet, but yeah, technically, like you will be able to do stuff like that. I think. I don't know. Kind of makes sense. One of the talks to figure out was a deep dive into Apex in Japanese. Come on. I guess I'm learning Japanese. I would love to speak Japanese. I'm loving working on the Xenomorph because it's just kind of like it can just sort of shut my mind off and just get into the flow state that you guys always hear about. You know? All right, let's see. Flow state. Yeah, I think the Xenomorph is very much a flow state kind of thing. Oh, autosave. All right. I should probably move on to something else. Actually, no, my goal was to finish the legs, so I'm going to finish the legs. Yeah, and I love all these just like little pockets of detail, right? And I think that's the trick here with these Xenomorphs. I wonder if I can do, right? Is that necessary? No, it's starting to look too sci-fi. You know, I don't want it to look too Mass Effect. But yeah, I'm definitely planning. I think my next tutorial I'm gonna do on kind of motion like retargeting. So taking some just like some motion capture data and applying that to an Apex rig and then animating on top of it. Because I just had to do that for a recent project, and that was kind of a big pain in the butt to figure out. But I figured it out, and it actually ended up being really awesome. So, yeah, it's a really great procedure. You know, applying motion capture data, and then just being able to animate right on top of it with an Apex rig. So I'll that's my next that's my next thing if I ever get around to it. Would we need to see an alien fantasy crossover where classic fantasy creatures like trolls and dragons get the Xenomorph treatment? Yeah, those would be some super cool sculpts. Like a troll, like a troll Xenomorph, like that would be super cool. Well, there's your next project, Squid Bean. There's your next little personal project. Or I don't know, maybe I'll do it. I'm down with that. Or maybe we do a collaboration. Collab. What about like a Xenomorph dragon? The thing is that they would have to like get the dragon first, right? Like how would the facehugger implant an egg into the dragon? Like we'd have to figure that part out. Crowd and render, nice. Have you tried using the crowd tools? I remember I on the Discord I asked about Christ, what did I ask? I don't know, something about yeah, like the multiple triggers, and I kind of figured out like a little workaround. But I really like the new crowd, like the SOP-based crowd system. I think it's awesome. It works super well. All right, let's see. Get the underfoot here, right? Because I don't want to leave anything, right? I kind of went pretty crazy with the details here. I'm gonna hold off doing any kind of like micro details for the most part, because I'm gonna do most of that in Substance Painter. So all that stuff, I'm just gonna hold off for a little bit. This is more of the medium level details. It's a little too basic. Yeah, the crowd system, right? Yeah, it is pretty basic. I mean, I wish there was more of like a, you know, API kind of workflow, like where you can really go in and because yeah, right now it's very like dog fed. You know, there's not a lot you can really do with it or tweak or, you know, I noticed that, you know, in the geo spreadsheet, there's a lot of attributes that are created. And I was tempted to try to go in and create some, you know, some of my own tools, but yeah, I didn't have the time. All right, this guy's looking kind of svet. Let me see. Okay. All right, so I think I'm gonna back off the legs and I'm gonna back off the legs. I might jump up into the neck a little bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna jump up into the neck. Or maybe I'll work on this. I'll work on this guy. Let's give that a whole bunch of... All right, let me check my references here. So some of these are pretty smooth. Some of them aren't. I kind of like these kind of ridges here. This is awesome. This looks like this was coated in resin or something. That's amazing. So I definitely want that look. Because, yeah, the Xenomorphs are always super wet and shiny. They're like this, right? So maybe I should... Oh, damn it. I didn't have symmetry on. Yeah, maybe they're like this. But now I can't see what I'm doing. So I'm going to keep it on. I'm going to keep it on that. All right, so this guy, this little doodad here, subdivide that a couple times. All right, I'm gonna try to hide this up in here just a bit. You know, I actually modeled most of this in Houdini. So I created like a base model in Zbrush, and I did some of my retopology in, you know, like just using the Z remesher. But the rest of it, I modeled in Houdini. So a lot of, you know, a lot of the stuff, like a lot of piping and even these things in the back here, you know, that was all Houdini. This thing, you know, the mouth, inner mouth, double mouth thing, that was all done Houdini. And that was done using the new modeler, the modeler 2025. Which is like, man, I don't know if you guys haven't used Modeler. It's like it. I mean, it turns Houdini, because the like, man, I don't even know where to start with my appreciation for that program, because it turns Houdini into like a really, really capable modeling program. I just could not recommend it enough. It's just incredible. All right, so that's kind of hidden. So yeah, I use Modeler a lot for this, and it was super fun. And the thing is the new Modeler works much more nicely with Houdini. It's just like, it just turns Houdini into this modeling powerhouse. And, you know, and you're in Houdini, and you have, you know, all access to the, you know, Houdini's amazing procedural tools, and yeah, it's just super awesome. So yeah, a lot of this was done in Modeler. Let me see. I don't want to do more than I need to, but I want to try to get these things cut in a bit more. Okay, because now I'm going to go into this guy. Let me see. Yeah, I just want to, again, a lot of these details are going to be picked up by the normal map. And hopefully they'll smooth out a little bit. All right, so I don't want to do too much to this guy, but I think I might just kind of sculpt it a little bit this way, just to kind of add just a bit of irregularity and just kind of like these, you know, sort of striations here. So let me solo this. Striations. All right. Zbrush. I'm still on Zbrush 2022, by the way, if you haven't noticed. I'm one of the purists who refuse to use the newer version of Zbrush since Maxon bought them. In my opinion, they're not really making Zbrush any better. You know, they're just like, here, let's hide this guy. You know, they're not fixing the, you know, a lot of the main issues of the interface, you know, that people have just been complaining about since this program arrived. You know, they just refuse to fix those weird things. And they're just adding all these little weird bells and whistles that, like, you know, no one really asked for. I mean, Zbrush for iPad I actually have, so I am paying for that. And that works. I think the only reason to get the newer version of Zbrush is because it plays really nicely for the Zbrush for iPad. But beyond that, I mean, I don't know. I don't see much reason to, you know, I don't, like, there's no like killer tools or, what's it called? Like updates to the newer version that, like, you know, you have to get it. Okay, how am I doing on time? All right, I think I got about 20 more minutes. Cool. So I got these striations in here. I might try to like get them a little bit more like that. And that could just be kind of nice, nice to have underneath, right? So like, you know, just an extra kind of detail underneath here. Right, so if I were to bring back this chest plate, yeah, you get that nice look there. All right, now let's get, it's kind of hard to do. There's so many crazy pieces here. All right. Oh yeah, here I had this kind of look. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So here before I had this pretty cool look that was like this. Let me see. What's my take on Renderer's Karma Redshift? Karma is getting really good. I gotta say, Karma is really awesome. Plays really nicely with obviously it plays really nicely with Houdini. I've been a Redshift user for a long time, so I'm, you know, a little bit more proficient with Redshift. Like, I feel more comfortable with it and its shaders and everything. Redshift now has a dedicated toon shader, which is like, I mean, really, I mean, for me personally, that's a huge plus, because I really like doing like NPR style rendering. you know, like non-photorealistic rendering. You know, because like the Spider-Verse kind of stuff or Arcane, like I really like that look. And before it was like really just Arnold. Like if you wanted to get that look, you had to use Arnold. So, you know, putting that into a GPU-based renderer like Redshift is amazing. So, it would be great if Karma could get a dedicated NPR or dedicated NPR shaders. I know you can do that in Cops now, but again, you have to jump into Cops and set all that up. And so it'd be nice to just have something that was just ready to go. But yeah, I mean, Redshift is, Redshift is awesome. I love Redshift, but I'm definitely starting to like Karma. You know, it's becoming a really awesome, powerful renderer. And it would be nice if it was, I think, a little bit better integrated with the main, just with SOPs, you know, so that in order to see it, you didn't have to jump into LOPs or create like a LOP network. I mean, like I said, like I'm not like super well versed with LOPs. Like I definitely, or with Solaris. I mean, you know, I definitely like use it when I need to, but I haven't really like dived in like a really, really deep level. So I'm not currently aware of any really flexible workflow with just like rendering directly in SOPs, you know, that you have to bring everything over into that USD land of Solaris and then render it out, which is a bummer. So I'm not sure if there's an easy way to go about it. Because again, I haven't really jumped in too deep. Let me see. I want to try to get these striations a little bit better. Oh, you know what? Check this out. Why don't I do this? I think I have an opportunity here. Yeah, let's do that. So maybe we can kind of continue this shape. Let's go up a subdivision level. Get something like that. There we go. There we go. All right, maybe I can take this guy and try to angle this a little bit better. I wonder if this is like the final form of 3D modeling. I wonder what it's going to be like in the future. In the year 2000. You guys ever watch that? Conan? In the year 2000. Whoops, wrong one. All right, maybe I can knock out some of these striations a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, I'm going to do that. Okay, so let's solo. I'm going to do something like this. And there we go. Yeah, Squidbean, I'm on Discord. Yeah, if you wanna just just DM me on Discord. I'm Bent Toenail on Discord. I don't know if you knew that. I should probably use my real name. But yeah, Bent Toenail is me. All right. Let's see. Let's see how this looks. Yeah. I know. I try to use my name. But then like I forgot like my login information. So I was just like whatever. I'll just go with Bent Toenail. Oh my god, you have a Xeno Dragon reference? Oh boy. I think I might have to pause this. Of course somebody made a Xenomorph dragon. Or did you make it? Or was this somebody made it? Or did you like do it in AI or something? Make me a Xenomorph dragon. Let's see. I mean, talk about big projects like Xenomorph dragon. If this is taking me so long to do, like a Xenomorph dragon would be. All right, hang on. Let me see. Open up my Discord. Here, I'm gonna pull it on the stream. Do you mind? Once I pull it up, I'm gonna get a good look at it. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. That's pretty cool. All right, ready? I'm gonna post it over here. And pure ref. Yeah, boy, that's pretty cool. I kind of feel like the head though is not dragon-like enough. It's too like you know what I mean? Like it's too like basic Xenomorph. You know? Look at the wings. Come on. Come on, ChatGPT. Learn some bat anatomy. Yeah, it's gotta have just like a bit of the dragonness. Xenomorph. Xenomorph. It does know what a xenomorph is though. AI. How do you all feel about AI? I'm it's such a mixed bag for me. Like sometimes I'm like whatever, not a big deal. And then sometimes it like keeps me up at night. You know, it basically just depends on what I read that day, how I feel about artificial intelligence. You know, because there's so many differing opinions on it. Like, you know, that it's reached its limit, it's not getting any bigger. And then there's other opinions that say like, it's gonna take over the world. So I mean, it's just hard to get like the truth these days, you know, on anything. So now, you know, you got this, and sometimes I feel like I kind of have this idea, like opinion that like OpenAI is kind of gaslighting us with like this all this like doom and gloom of like how powerful AI is going to be. You know, that like they're gonna create AGI and it's gonna take over the world. Like, I wonder if part of that is like, you know, just fluff, just to get people to invest in it. The intent use case matters. Is it powerful? Yes. Does it replace everything? No. Is it a giant legal problem? 100%. I 100% agree with you. Because man, it really is like, you know, and they're very brazen about just like releasing these tools. Like I know, whoops, there we go. Yeah, I know Sora just got released. And I mean, it's kind of funny. Like I remember when Sora came out, I was like, I need to change everything. You know, like I was just getting into Apex and rigging and everything. And you know, I really felt like holy crap, there's the end of visual effects. You know, especially when I saw that dancing kangaroo. But now it's like, I don't know, like it's really it's like now Sora just came out, and like I'm not interested at all in it. Like I almost couldn't even care less. It's like, okay, cool. It's another cool little tool or gadget or whatever. But since they first came out with it, like there's tons of text to the video tools that have come out already. So it like doesn't really feel like that big of a deal anymore. It kind of just feels like it is what it is. It's just another tool, kind of like you said, Squid Bean. But I don't know. You know, I felt the same way when what's it called? When Dolly came out. I was terrified and but now, you know, I'm drawing more than ever. I'm you know, teaching my kids how to draw. You know, I still think there's very much a place for you know, human-made art. Sora isn't really that new. The lack of control, any sense of cinematic artistry is already becoming boring to me. Are you using it? Have you tried it already? I'm gonna carve this in. Get some deets. Something. My goal here is to try to make this look nice and bony. I have not tried any of the tools. You know, one thing I think is really cool. No, I technically have access, but I can't make an account due to many people. Yeah, they got a lot of stuff on their page now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think like, you know, a lot of people definitely want to try this out, which makes sense. You know, they've been blowing this thing up for a while now. Hang on, let me get rid of these rib cage. I want to try. Boom. All right, I'm gonna try and blend these things together. This actually looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. It's all just neat at a glance, but as a tool for any creative work, I just don't like. Can't track that footage. So all denoise scrambled pixels. I mean, yeah, it kind of is all denoise scrambled pixels because that's kind of how it works. And you know, it's interesting that they've gotten the temporal coherency, I guess, temporal cohesion, as good as they have it. It's pretty amazing, and I remember that was kind of like the holy grail, like, you know, not that long ago. But now it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. As human beings, we get used to things so fast. You know, like, I mean, a just groundbreaking technology like that comes out, and it's just like, oh, okay. One thing I haven't really gotten used to is ChatGPT, however. Like, I sometimes am blown away, like, when I'm using it to write Vex code or like when it actually nails what I'm trying to do, then it's like, then that's just like pure magic. That's totally holy shit. But for the most part, I am trying to do things with it, and then I just say, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to do it myself because this doesn't actually know what I want. Did you see the couple AI general ads Vodafone did? So shit looking. I know. I haven't seen those, but I saw the Toys R Us ad. And yeah, man, it just looks whack. Like, you know, it looks weird, kind of creepy. And the thing is like, you know, there's a certain amount of agency that human beings attach to anything that is like creative, artistic, or whatever. Anything, really. And just knowing that something was made by not human, like a robot, kind of makes it repulsive. So, you know, just the fact that like the way ChatGPT works, or, you know, these things work, just the simple fact of knowing that they're not human generated, that it's all fake, makes it a bit repulsive. Tech side of things is a whole other thing, though. Yeah, I think, yeah. that is and will change the world much more than image generation. Yeah, I think the tech stuff like coding, I think is incredible. Using ChatGPT to learn things is amazing. For advice, I think it's incredible. That really seems to be like the winning combination here is holy crap, I should save. Let me see. Close your eyes. Let me see, save. Yeah, I've been working on it for a while here. What if this just shut down on me and didn't save? Area my guard. Oh no. Damn it. Yeah, Zbrush always does this thing where if I save, okay, there we go. Yeah, sometimes it like I'll lose what's it called? The come on, Max. Come on, Max, you can do it. Pen pressure. Sometimes I'll lose pen pressure. Whew. Man. I guess I'm not so in the zone anymore. Maybe I'm reaching my limit. Maybe I'm reaching my zone limit. But yeah, man, I don't know. I was super scared about AI at first, and now I'm a little bit more calm about it. Well, they don't want you to know, but so far it's hard not to pick it out as weird enough. You know, like one really interesting thing is like I wonder if with all this AI revolution, we're gonna find out more about how consciousness works. Because I mean, I don't know about you guys, and like, but seeing some of these AI to these text to video generation things or videos, they are dreams. Like they look like they're basically dreams. You know, like they're so reminiscent of what I always thought a recorded dream would look like. And I wonder if like that analogy is like a proper one, you know, if we can actually like kind of extrapolate the similarities between those text to video generations and how dreamlike they are, and the way our brain constructs dreams just from the memories or our days, like the way we lived out our day. You know, I wonder if it's possible to actually kind of make that analogy and actually figure out more about our consciousness and like how that all works. You know, so it's like we almost like might find out more about ourselves by creating like a, you know, a simulated version of consciousness. So cool to see you working in ZBrush. What time is it for you? What time is it for me? I don't know if I should reveal that. I don't know if I should. Because what if I'm trying to hide? It's in the morning for me. Sometime in the morning. Sometime. I'll just tell you that. Let's see, plot twist. Whenever you get into, when you put in a prompt, the image is actually generated from people, Neuralink and stuff. Yeah. Imagine that. Oh, man. If you could do that with Neuralink, sign me up. This takes too long. I'm down with that. I wonder if you can still get in the zone, right? If you have a Neuralink implant, if it's possible to be in the zone, right? Can you get in the zone if you have a Neuralink? Or are you like even more in the zone? Or can you just switch the zone on? That'd be cool. Imagine that. Oh, these guys are totally... Yeah, imagine that like with a Neuralink implant. You can just kind of like... Just like, I want to be in the zone now. And boom. You're in the zone. If the zone isn't forced upon you. Yeah, totally. The zone. Yeah, probably. Oh my God. The thing is, man, like people aren't going to sign up for that, you know? Like I mean, maybe like if it's like sure, you know, there'll be people signing up for it, but like I don't know. The sentiment that I've been seeing more and more is that we're pretty sick of our smartphones. We're pretty sick of just this constant just bombardment of information. It's not doing anything good for us at all, you know? And it's only doing good for it's only doing good for the people who are profiting from it. So it's like, you know, I really don't see people signing up to just, you know, I think for like, you know, people who are like paraplegic and you know, have been sort of like turned into vegetables through, you know, no fault of their own, through an accident or like a debilitating mental disease. I think it's incredible. But just the idea of like just constantly being tuned in, I don't know. It sounds like a nightmare, like a Black Mirror episode. But down the line, you'll get an option for a pro plan, implement with features, yada yada. I know, yeah. Ads and personal, yep, cookies and whatnot. Yeah, man. I don't know. Seriously, like at this point, I just want to move to the woods and just become like a farmer and make like pottery or something, you know. That'd be fun. I used to paint. That's what I went to school for, was painting and painting portraits and stuff. And you know, and I gotta say, I miss that. You know, I really miss portrait painting. You know, and just like straight, you know, brush on canvas. I mean, this is fun. You know, I really enjoy this. Otherwise, I wouldn't have chose this path. But man, yeah, there is something to be said by having some dirty hands at the end of the day. You know, my fingernails are very clean right now. It'd be nice if they were encrusted with clay or something like that. Hell, the trees might have implants by 2. Yep. Luckily, there's a chip. Yeah, there's a chip shortage. I know, that's what I'm saying. And also for you know, artificial intelligence, like, you know, if the barrier now for artificial intelligence growing further is just you know, more compute power, then like, you know, how do they get their compute power, right? It's a ton of electricity and a ton of water. And that's really like, you know, to run these data centers. So, you know, there's already, and then there's that chip shortage, right? So like, you know, and then a lot of these, I imagine these things are trained by you know, GPUs. So, you know, yeah, it can't just be this like kind of runaway train. Like there's so many other factors that need to happen and that need to go right in order for these systems to keep on growing. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how this all goes. Hopefully it's for the better of everybody. Man, this stream got pretty deep, guys. I was not counting on it, but if you're just tuning in, then wow. Whoops. Oh, this guy's gonna be in my way. Damn it. That's fine. All right, so I'm just gonna do the same thing here that I've done everywhere else. My time is winding down. Actually, let me see. Oh my gosh, I'm 5 minutes past my time. All right, let me see. I'm just gonna do just a couple more things here while my zone remains. Secret level show yet? Ooh, Tim Miller. Yeah, the secret level. Oh, yeah, I want to watch that. I love Tim Miller. He's so good. That guy's a real inspiration. You know, he's like one of the only real people out there who's like who believes in animation for adults. You know, he was kind of like at least on like a on like a, you know, on a grand scale. Of course, there's always been like, you know, like animation, you know, for adults, like, you know, racy Bugs Bunny cartoons or something like that. But yeah, he's the one who like kind of brought it the Hollywood treatment. And yeah, he's awesome. I love Tim Miller. He's fantastic. And he was responsible for starting one of the best animation studios of all time, Blair Studios. There's 16 of them? Whoa. Amazon Prime. It's not on Netflix anymore. That's weird. Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course there's Japan. Sliding scale animation didn't ages. Yeah, the Western world did cap it at about 10. But I don't know, man. There's something about violent animation that I like have a really hard time with. Like I can do violent movies, you know, and all that stuff, but like something about violent animation, it just I don't know. It's like extra dark when there's like violent animation. There's something about it that really gets to me. Like I remember growing up, I grew up with like Akira and Ninja Scroll and, you know, all those movies. Like I watched them like all the time. At like from like a really young age. And I just remember like really just like I shouldn't be watching this. All right, I think our Xenomorph is looking pretty dope. Yeah, once this guy's moving around and looking all scary. Let me see. It's expressing in a different way for sure. Something about adding detail and timing that changes the impact. Yeah, I mean the thing, the thing, what got me, with animation, or like violent anime. It's like in that show. What was it? Incredible? No, not Incredible. Invincible. That really violent, like over the top violent. I think. Show about the superhero. It was like based off a comic. Was just like it's just the innocent people just eating it, you know, like that is just seeing innocent people die is pretty effed up. Like when he's like when he like pushes his son like through the train and all those like he's like the people are just explode. Like I don't know if anybody's seen it, but like yeah, it just yeah, there's some scenes in that show that are just so fucked up. And yeah, that kind of stuff really bothers me. It's so jacked up. I watched a few episodes. I actually got bored how violence was. I know, yeah. It's like there was not like a ton of like reasoning for the violence. It was just so over the top. Like when he, I don't know if you saw, like, but when he kills the other group, like the rest of the group, like the sort of Justice League group that's there, it's like yeah, the way he does it is just. I mean, I guess the point is like that's what it would look like if Superman were killing everybody, you know, just kind of crushing their skulls and just flattening them with like a, you know, just punch, like, you know, like Superman punching somebody in the head. Like what would happen? It's probably that. That's probably what would happen. Is their head would just explode. So I guess that was the reasoning there. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I just enjoy watching some cartoons with my kids. I think I'm too old for that stuff now. I'm too old for I've come full circle. I'm too old for ridiculous gratuitous violence, and now I just want nice happy stuff again. Sure, but he still needs a reason or context. Just an anatomy fever dream isn't entertaining for very long. Yeah, I know, and you just kind of get like just ugh. After a while, it just becomes a bit too much. I'm glad I'm not alone here. I'm really excited about the new Arcane series. Arcane, I feel like is animation wise, that's where it's at. You know, and Fortiche, boy, what is it about French animators? Why are they so good? what is going on in France that like the animators that come out of France are just, has anybody else noticed that? Like, I mean, for real, like it's always been like that too, not just recently. Murder Monkeys. Oh man, I can't wait to watch that talk. I need some inspiration on other people talking about their personal projects, because that's been my main focus the past couple weeks. It's just how to keep myself motivated. All right, let's see. Let's mess around here a little bit. Guys, I think I've used up all my zone powers. And I'm standing up too. I use a standing desk. My feet are killing me. Yeah, man. I like where this is going. I like. Yeah. Yeah, there's some cool stuff going on. Like, again, like I love this shoulder here. Like, God, look at that shoulder. But I just wasn't really able to quite pull it off. I kept mine a little bit more or less anatomically correct. So. All right. I think that's it. I'm going to cut it off here. Great talking to you guys. Thanks for jumping on. Do xenomorphs go to the bathroom? Like anatomically, do they need to? I don't know, man. They probably, I would imagine they would do it out of their mouth. Like they just like puke. Just puke their shit. Oh, where's the tail? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, you too, Squidbeam. You keep up the good work as well. I'm looking forward to that talk. All right, bye everybody.